Hi, I'm Diane DeVenye, and I've been living in Moss Park for 10 years. I love this park. I moved downtown to this park because it is so special. And I love this neighborhood, and I'm here because I know this neighborhood needs as much love as we can possibly give it. When I found out the plan for Metrolinx to kill 56 mature trees because that made it easier to make the subway, I was devastated. And I started finding out more information. And I joined a committee for the new Moss Park rejuvenation so that I could find out more information. And I just couldn't believe that most people had no idea about the plan. And recently, when I saw a map that Metrolinx showed us, that shows that not only are all of these trees going to go that are totally irreplaceable, but they're taking over the entire green space of the park up to the baseball diamond for a construction yard. And people need this park. People love this park. People use this park. And I'm questioning, why is the huge armory yard not being available? The federal government is funding part of this project. I'm calling on our MP, Marcy Ian, to protect this park for the community. Help us protect the trees. This is a provincial and a federal matter. This is not just something that we can point a finger at Doug Ford. Everybody is implicated in this. And we have invited people to come and show their love. We're hanging balloons on all of the trees that are scheduled to be killed. And we are going to show signs, saving the trees, saving our park. We need our trees, we need our park. And if they can build a subway station at Yonge and Queen without removing the buildings that are there, then surely they can build a subway station at Queen and Sherbourne without removing all of the trees.
Metrolinx is going to be building a subway station here in Moss Park as part of the Ontario line. It was announced by the provincial government back in 2019, and the Moss Park subway station is part of that line that's going to run from the exhibition place all the way to Thorncliffe Park. What we're doing here is we're trying to bring awareness regarding this new station that's coming, and the plan that around 56 trees are going to be cut down as part of the construction. This park is going to be closed, a majority of it, a huge portion of it, for about 7 to 8 years. And that's going to be an issue for accessing this park for so many years to come. And it's important that the community is able to come together to support the trees and to save the trees so that we could have trees in the park, and because they're such a huge part of the community for so many years, and it's important that we can preserve these trees as part of this construction process. And the main thing here that we're doing is we've organized and supporting this event that's looking to show our appreciation for all of these trees. As you can see here, all the trees that we have placed balloons around, they're trees that are being planned to be removed. And by showing appreciation for the trees and hugging the trees and putting balloons around them, we're showing our appreciation and support to save the trees. And we're asking all community members of the Moss Park community and the city in all levels of our government to be able to understand sort of the importance of having our voices heard in this process, so that we could guide the development of this new subway station to make sure that anything that is happening, any changes that are happening according to the community's needs. We want our community to be how we want our community to be. We want it to address important concerns and important needs that will help our community to ensure long-term improvement.
My name is Sylvie Grenis. I live right there. And I have no air conditioning. I have no forced air heating in my home. I'm depending on these trees, these carbon farmers, to in fact take up the carbon out of the air and give me oxygen and give me cool air. Right? Most of these residences here that are on top of these shops have no air conditioning. So in this climate change business, everybody's worried about how much carbon we have. Why are we chopping down the very creatures who are chewing up the carbon and giving us oxygen? I don't understand, why we have to kill all these trees who've been a member of our community for 70 years now, doing the very job we need them to do, which is to eat up the carbon and to give us oxygen, right? And it's a relationship we have with these trees. So we're just going to mass murder all these trees to save a few dollars, because it's easier to clear cut and dig the station underneath than it is to, to work around these trees. Then, of course, the construction is going to go on for 7 to 10 years. Again, these guys look after dust. They control all that. They control the wind. They control dust. So there'll be no control for dust. There'll be none of that stuff. Again, our windows are open. We're going to be dealing with a lot more noise, a lot more dust for 7 to 10 years if it goes well, possibly 20. If if Eglinton line is any indication of how this is going to go, this park is going to be. They claim they're going to give us new trees at the end. Again, in 10 years from now, they're going to give us these measly little trees. It's going to take them another 70 years to get up and running from where they are now. So I don't want these members of my community killed. I don't want them murdered. I want them to stay part of here, and I'd like the Metrolinx city people, whoever, to in fact find a way to work around them and to let them be part of our community, continue to be part of our community. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Gargi. I'm an IT professional and moved pretty couple of months and years back to Canada. This place has been like home to us, and Moss Park is the only place where my dog comes out and she feels safe. She feels Chloe, there she is. So I can't believe that these trees would be torn down, and they look so beautiful out here, and they are one of the most precious things. I've heard some of them are more than 70 years old, and it just breaks my heart to think that people would think about cutting down these trees, and around 10 years no park for all our kids to play. It's just, and I have another one coming. I can't think about the second generations coming out without places to play, and I don't know what else to say. I wish you guys take it back. I wish everybody understands how important trees and parks and open spaces are there to all of us, not only the kids or the dogs, and also us, right? So please, guys, don't do it. That's all from my end. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I feel pretty much the same. My name is Sandy, and I've been coming and walking through this park for 32 years. We have a hair salon down the street here at Queen and Sherbourne, and these trees are just part of the landscape of this park, and so is this actual park. It's a part of everyone's life. We need it. We can't have it as a construction site for 10 years. Surely they can find a way to save these trees and work around with all the talented engineers that we have in Toronto. For them to take down all of these trees along Queen Street is actually an atrocity, I think. Especially with the world the way it is right now, with global weather, and we need these trees. We need them like they're just part of the landscape, and they don't need to be torn down. Besides the fact that this is going to be 10 years of a construction site, which we've all been living in for the last, it feels like 10 years. Construction sites are everywhere. Every corner,
everywhere.
There is not one moment's peace in the city anymore, because there's construction on every corner with complete disregard for the people that have been living here. And now they want to tear down this park, which I think is just outrageous. Anyways, I hope there's a way to save it and save the trees and save all the trees along Shooter as well. This,
I think nature needs to be saved.
Yes, I agree with you. This park is our lifeline. We need it.
Yeah,
my dog needs it. The city needs it to clean the air. We just need it. We don't need any more construction, right in the heart of our city. It's hard enough to get through Toronto from Toronto.
I think in the world there are a lot of countries who have really repented doing so. Like most of the countries, if you go to Middle East or Asia, or we really
need our green space.
Yeah, we
need our green
regret
space.
doing that.
I hope that they can find engineers that are creative enough to
I
work
think they
around
have
it. We must
right?
have talent.
Of course.
They don't need to cut the trees down.
Yeah, you can
In this
do
day and age,
something.
I just think it's absurd. I think it's so tone deaf, and it's just an insult to the neighborhood, actually. Yes, we need a relief line, but not at the expense of tearing down every single tree.
We can't get a 70-year-old tree back on ever, I would say.
This
right?
maple, which I walk by and touch every day,
I don't think it'll be ever restored
it's really
again
upsetting. I'm very
anywhere.
upset to hear that they're going to tear down these trees. And I hope everyone does something to help out. Sign a petition.
I hope
Get
it
your name in
changes
there.
anything, right? Like, you know.
I'm telling
At
you,
least
it's kind of just very I didn't know it was
someone
going to
needs
be
to hear.
10 years as a construction site either. That's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you don't
I hope,
need 10.
I think,
I don't know. We are not equipped enough to say how long it takes, but please don't do this. You know,
Don't do it.
We have done enough damage to the world. We are doing it continuously. If consciously we can save some, I think we should do that, right? Yeah.
our
it's
city
just-
needs to save
yeah.
the space. Save this green space.
Please do that.
Thank you.
please. Thank you.
One other issue that I'm really disturbed by is the fact that they've already taken 2 of the trees. We have the hashtag 56 trees for 56 trees. We're down to 54 now because they said that they were doing an archaeological dig and it required them to remove 2 beautiful, healthy hardwood trees. And they've completed what looked like the excavation they were doing. The stumps are completely undisturbed. And so they did not need to cut those trees down now. Furthermore, they said that all of the valuable wood was going to go to the benefit of the Moss Park Community Center for the woodworking shop. They took some of the smaller pieces away that they said they were going to have milled, but the fact is, very valuable, large stumps were left behind. And eventually, I saw people from the community come with chainsaws. And these are people who are going to make good use of the trees, but it did not go to the community center as promised. This is a sign of Metrolinx continuing to disregard the community, make promises that they half keep, and take away the trees before anybody even knows what's going on.
So with regards to the developments that are currently happening in the Moss Park community, there's the private condo development that's happening. There's the revitalization of the John Ennis Community Center that's happening. And then there's this big developments, the Moss Park subway station that's happening. One of the biggest concerns with regards to community engagement and also actively engaging with the community has been the sort of lack of it. There hasn't been much engagement with the Moss Park community regarding these big developments that are happening. There has been a lack of transparency and sort of a lack of awareness regarding these types of developments that will impact the community for so many years to come. And it could change the outlook of the community in the next 10 years. The community could look completely different. And so there's been a lack of transparency and there's been a lack of engagement. There hasn't been much engagement with the community to connect with the community about what the community would want. All these different processes such as taking down the trees and understanding what design for the station could be like and what should be done in the community. It should be something that the community should be directly consulted with. You know, developers and different types of community and city leaders / members should come by and actively engage with the community to understand how they would like their community to look like. And there hasn't been much of it, and that's really concerning. So we're calling upon all our city stakeholders, community leaders, and developers to actively engage with the community, include the Moss Park community in the many changes and developments that are happening, to understand how these developments should happen according to the community's needs. And that's one of the most important things that needs to happen.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of our content. And if you like more of us, make sure to visit our website or follow us on our social media platforms.